A very good evening and welcome to the Portuguese capital. We are here in Lisbon for this first leg of the Champions League quarter-final, and it's Sporting Lisbon, the current champions of Portugal, against the current leaders in the English Premier League. Arsenal here at the Estadio José Alvalade, promised to be an absolute cracker. In fact, we're promised 4 crackers, aren't we, in the quarter-final stage of this Champions League, and you expect nothing else at this stage. The business end of Europe's Premier Club competition, Sporting Lisbon against Arsenal. We've also got the small matter of Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, and then tomorrow, Paris Saint-Germain, the reigning champions, against Liverpool, and an all-Spanish affair in the fourth game, which is Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. The way the draw works out is the winners of this one will play the winners of the game tomorrow at the Nou Camp between Barca and Atleti. So it'll be PSG or Liverpool against Bayern Munich or Real Madrid in the other side of the draw. Team news is in there, and for Sporting Lisbon, it's easy to just, with both teams, to be fair, just to say who survived from the weekend, because both players, or both teams, I should say, made a lot of changes from the weekend. 5 starters have survived from the weekend win for Sporting against Santa Clara, which keeps the pressure on leaders Porto in a really intriguing Portuguese title race this season. Rui Silva remains in goal. The Japanese Marissa keeps his place, as does former Barca man Trincao. Catamo gets a start on the right-hand side with Gonzalez on the left. For Arsenal then, well, it was a potential quadruple reduced down to a potential treble, and now it's a potential double, because just before the international break they lost the League Cup final to Manchester City, came back after the break and lost in the FA Cup to lower league Southampton. So again, easier for me to tell you who remains in the starting 11 and who's missed out, as Mikel Arteta makes 8 changes from the weekend. Only club captain Martin Odegaard, Ben White and Gabriel remain from that starting 11. Eberechi Eze, Bukayo Saka and Urian Timber remain sidelined with their respective injuries. Victor Gyökeres back at the place where he scored 97 goals in just 102 appearances for Sporting Lisbon. He's back and leads the line for the Gunners. So here are the full lineups, first of all, for Sporting Lisbon. Rui Silva in goal, back 4 from left to right, Ario, Inacio, Diamande and Fresneda. Holding in midfield, Simoes and Maritza. Over on the left, Gonçalves and Catamo on the right, and Trincao off of the top scorer this season, who's come in and seamlessly taken the place of Victor Gyökeres, and that man is Luis Suarez, the Colombian. No, not that Luis Suarez, the Colombian who came in for €22 million from Almeria in the summer. For Arsenal then, it's David Raya back in goal after missing out in those 2 domestic cup games where Kepa took control between the sticks for Arsenal. The back 4 from left to right is Calafiori, Gabriel Saliba and Ben White. The midfield trio of Declan Rice, Martin Zubamendi and Martin Odegaard, and then the front 3, Trossard on the left, Madueke on the right, and former Sporting man Gyökeres down the centre. On the benches for Sporting, Bricanca, Debast, Diogo Calle, the Brazilian goalkeeper, Faye, Gonçalves, Kocharashvili, the Georgian, Mangas, Nel, Rafa Nel, Quaresma, Vagianidis, the Greek, and Virginia, the other goalkeeper. They're missing Hoylmund due to suspension, the Dane. For Arsenal, Kepa, Daumann, the 16-year-old starlet, of course, Gabriel Jesus, Harriman Anous, Havertz, Lewis Skelly, Martinelli, Mosquera, Norgard, Randerson, the goalkeeper, and another 16-year-old as well, Marley Salmon, who did start in a cup game recently for the Gunners. Last season, they met in the group phase of the Champions League. They met here as well at the Estadio José Alvalade, and it was a big win for the Gunners as well on the way to the semi-finals eventually, wasn't it? They won 5-1 here last season, eventually got to the semi-finals of this tournament, so I hope they can do that for the second time running. Well, they eventually lost to the eventual champions, of course, Paris Saint-Germain. They are the bookies' favourites, Arsenal, to win this tournament. And I think that's more to do with the fact that they're in the more sort of perceived easier half of the draw, with Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich all in the other half. For this one, well, there'll certainly be big favourites here, and a semi-final against either Barca or Atletico. They would certainly be the favourites against Atletico. I think Barca's more of a toss of a coin for that one, but you've got toss of a coin games in the other half of the draw as well, with that game against Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and potentially, unless Liverpool can cause an upset, a semi-final between reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain and either 15-time champions Real Madrid, or second favourites as they are, finishing second in the group phase, Bayern Munich. So it was in the end a comfortable passage through for Arsenal. They won all 8 of their group phase games, first team ever to do that in this new fangled format in the Champions League. And for Sporting, they qualified as well automatically in the last 8. They didn't need the playoff round, and in the last knockout round it was success for Arsenal against Bayer Leverkusen, a draw away from home, and then a comfortable victory at the Emirates. And what a comeback it was against the Norwegians, Bodo Glimt, for Sporting Lisbon. 3-0 down from the first leg, and they won the second leg here 5-0. They've got an incredible record here at home. They really are. They're a little, I wouldn't say they're chalk and cheese as far as home and away goes. They're certainly not. They're having a very good season domestically and pushing hard to retain their title in the league, but they're on a 17-match home winning streak across all competitions here at the Estadio Jose Alavada, looking to make it 18 today. Arsenal, I can tell you, there's a slight delay, by the way, to the kickoff. Should have kicked off at 8 o'clock. It's nearly 3 minutes past the hour now, and we've yet to kick off. There was a little hold-up in the tunnel as the two teams came out, and I think that's the reason for this little delay that we have had. And it's going to be Sporting Lisbon in their green and white striped shirts. Arsenal are in away kit, the sort of navy shirts with the red trim, the navy socks, I should say, and the white shorts, the green and white striped shirts of Sporting Lisbon with the socks to match, the black shorts in this first half. Arsenal are going to get us underway. Our referee is Daniel Siebert. The return leg for this one is going to be played in London, and it'll be next Wednesday, the 15th of April, 8 o'clock kickoff, British summertime for that one. So we're all ready to go. It's Sporting Lisbon against Arsenal. A slight delay. The first leg here in the Portuguese capital. Arsenal are going to get us underway, and in this first half they are going to be playing from left to right. They're going to be attacking the goal towards our right-hand side. It's the Portuguese champions against the champions-elect in England, although still plenty of work to do for the Gunners to hold off Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. The game gets underway then. Early possession for Arsenal. Calafiori down the line and immediately back inside the Arsenal half to Gabriel. There was a little bit of concern. He did go off injured at the weekend. Was actually replaced by Saliba, who was on the bench. Saliba on the ball now. Returns the favour by going back to Gabriel square towards his left-hand side. But appears to recovered okay. Still 2 or 3 injury concerns for the Gunners as they get back to Premier League ways at the weekend. Still Gabriel, edge of his own penalty area, just playing a little game between himself and Saliba at the moment. Eventually Zubimendi picks the ball up for Arsenal midway inside the Gunners half, and just works his way towards the right hand side and finds Saliba on the right hand corner of the penalty area. Down the line it goes to Ben White, brings the ball towards the halfway line. Sloppy ball from Ben White, looking for Noni Madueke, was never going to find him, and it's good work by Odegaard to win the ball back for Arsenal just inside the centre circle. First touch for Gyökeres. And now Trossard goes out towards this near side, just sells Madueke a little bit short. The ball is loose, but Arsenal have come away with it again. Saliba to the right of the centre circle. First touch for Declan Rice inside that centre circle. Square to his right and Zubimendi. Odegaard comes deep to pick it up. The Arsenal captain back in the side now and back with the armband on his arm. And it's coincided quite nicely for Arsenal, really, isn't it, with Odegaard being fit again and Eberechi Eze being out, because it was Eze who took his place while he was on the sidelines. Long ball forward by Odegaard's going to go all the way through to the goalkeeper. Silva out towards the left back to Isnario, goes long towards the halfway line. A little flick on by Suarez. Wants a free kick. He's going to get a free kick, actually. Battling with it just to the left of the centre circle with William Saliba, and the referee The German Daniel Siebert is seen in favour of Luis Suarez. So free kick to the hosts, back to Diamande. First time ball forward and over the halfway, and that's a sloppy one inside the centre circle. And they get another opportunity though and work it over towards the far side, and Catamo down the line it goes, down that right hand side for Sporting Lisbon. Ario now. Infield it goes towards Trincao, very congested over on that far side for Sporting Lisbon. In the end they go all the way back towards the halfway line. Arsenal doing well to push back. Diamande is with the ball, goes out towards Frischner. They're over on the far side, down the line. Morita just about keeps the ball in play. And now it's with Trincao again. Middle inside the Arsenal half. He's going to drill the ball from right to left-hand side of the penalty area. First time ball in is blocked. It's Ario on the left-hand side. It's blocked by Ben White, but he'll come back to the Uruguayan down this near side. Needs a little bit of support and finds it in the form of Simões. Just backtracking towards the halfway line. Gonzalez now. And Gonzalez turns and finds Morita. Morita spreads play towards Diamande, right inside of the penalty area. Ball with pace out towards Catamo over on that far side for Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal with everybody back. And in the end, Sporting retreating back towards the halfway line. Here is Ousmane Diamande. Loses possession. Declan Rice it is who wins it back for Arsenal. Back to Zubamendi, his centre-back partner. Now Odegaard just outside the centre circle. Finds Gabriel towards his left-hand side. Goes back to the Norwegian now inside the centre circle. Brings it over the halfway line. Twisting, turning. Just ghosts around Suarez, who closed him down, and then goes back to Saliba. Saliba looks right, looks left. Can't quite work out what to do with it. Rice comes close, and in the end it is the England man who he finds. Gets the ball back immediately though, Saliba. And then goes out to his centre-back partner, Gabriel, over on the far side. Back to Declan Rice once more. Feel like it's going to be a big game for Declan Rice tonight. Here's Zubamendi, right hand side of the centre circle. Brings it inside that centre circle. The Spaniard looks forward but then goes back to William Saliba. Feels like a game of chess at the moment, this does already. Nearly 5 minutes played. Goalless, and Arsenal happy to have possession but always inside their own half at the moment. They've not had sight of the Sporting Lisbon penalty area, although nor of their opponents, to be fair, in this first 5 minutes. Still Saliba, just outside the centre circle, knocks it back to Gabriel, and Gabriel looks like he's going to go back to David Raya. Raya in the all-purple strip this evening. Knocks it out to Odegaard, who's come deep to retrieve possession for Arsenal and set them on the way. Maybe inject a little bit of pace into this Arsenal attack. It's just been sort of 5 minutes of the two centre-backs just passing it around to each other, really, more than anything else here for Arsenal. And it is another one of those centre-backs. It's Gabriel now with possession over on the far side. White is in space just to the right of the centre circle, but it's gone back to Odegaard again. Odegaard sloppy from him, loses possession, gets back, tries to make the challenge, but still Sporting have possession. And then Rice goes over towards the far side and he picks the pocket of the number 10, Catamo, and then goes long down the line. Ball just about kept in play. Is it over on the far side? It is. Good work actually by Morita to keep the ball in play and prevent the throw-in for Sporting. Now it's Diamande. Diamande on towards Morita again. Goes back to Simões now. Once more Morita. Now Diamande. And now it's Sporting Lisbon's turn to have possession and knock it around their back four inside their own half, just as Arsenal have done for the first 5 minutes. Ball with the outside of the boot down the centre. That's an absolutely fantastic ball. Now Sporting inside the penalty area. Oh, and the shot comes in. It's hit the crossbar. Would you believe it? What an effort that is. It's smacked off the crossbar from Ario. And the referee stopped play here just on the edge of the penalty area. Is there a free kick there for Sporting? That was a brilliant ball forward, though, by the outside of the boot. He made the run, Ario, from left back, got in ahead of Ben White, and then the first time shot, he absolutely cracks it left-footed just inside the penalty area. I'll tell you what, if David Ray gets a finger to it, so it's an incredible save. It comes off the crossbar. I'm not entirely sure he did. I think he was beaten, Raya. And then when the ball came back towards the edge of the penalty area, Declan Rice with a challenge on Catamo, that's resulted in a free kick and a really promising opportunity for Sporting Lisbon. Just one ball, that's all it took. Well, I think it just needed somebody to just say, let's do something here, because it's been like a game of chess the first 6-7 minutes. And it was Diamande, actually, the centre-back, with a lovely ball with the outside of the left boot in towards that left channel. And the left-back had strode forward. Max Ario beat the offside trap, got in ahead of Ben White, and his first time shot was an absolute beauty. Off the crossbar, David Raya was beaten, and now David Raya is lining up his wall here for this free kick. It's just the right of the D, 25 yards from goal. Looks like it's going to be Gonzalez. In it comes. It's hit the wall in the end. It wasn't a great one. Comes back and another shot comes in. It's not a bad effort, but it's always rising over the bar. And again, it was the same man, in fact, Max Ario, the left back, with an effort. Left-footed. It's not a bad effort. It's all of about 30 yards plus out. I think Raya probably had it covered. A few yards over the bar behind goal kick, but Sporting with the early opportunity with that shot off the crossbar. Here's Ben White, who made a huge error, didn't he, at the weekend? It resulted in the Gunners conceding the first goal in that game against Southampton. In the side again tonight, though, but possibly more to do with the fact that Jurrien Timber wasn't available. Here's Declan Rice inside the centre circle for Arsenal. Lovely ball towards Ødegaard in the inside right position. Pokes it out to Madueke now, level with the edge of the penalty area. Ario knocks it clear, but straight to Ødegaard. Now Madueke again, and he's offside. Madueke didn't get back up quick enough as the Sporting Lisbon defence just stepped up. What a brilliant ball that was. Just looking at the replay of that shot off the crossbar. Ousmane Diomande, what an assist that would have been for a goal. So close as well, crashing off that crossbar. Long ball forward now for Sporting. That's tidied up by Trossard, I think it is. But I think the offside flag was up anyway. Free kick to Arsenal, just outside the centre circle. Nearly 9 minutes played here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade, and it's goalless as Arsenal come over the halfway line. Trossard back to Rice. Rice back to Calafiori, finds Gabriel. Gabriel goes all the way back to David Raya. Ball on his right foot, prepares to kick long the Spaniard, which he does out towards the near side, looking for Madueke. Madueke gets something on it, but can't find Ødegaard. And then it's cleared long for Sporting Lisbon. It's loose inside the centre circle, but Sporting Lisbon have come away with it. They look the better team at the moment. Out towards the far side it goes. Katamo, right in corner of the penalty area. Goes down towards the byline. Can he cut the ball back? It's straight into the arms of David Raya inside the 6-yard area. Wastes no time at all in bowling it out to Ødegaard as Arsenal look to break quickly. Ødegaard already up towards the halfway line, but then pokes it back to Rice, and that allows Sporting Lisbon to get back in position. Here's Ben White down this near side over the halfway line to Madueke. Immediately returns the favour to the England international. Now Ødegaard brings it from right to left. 1-2 between himself and Declan Rice. Now it's Saliba taking up position again. Are we going to get another 5 minutes of Arsenal just knocking him on the back four? Here's Ben White. He loops one over the top towards Madueke. Now Madueke inside the penalty area. Can he knock it back to Gyökeres inside the penalty area? And Gyökeres tries to knock it towards Trossard on his left-hand side. Doesn't get enough on it. And Sporting Lisbon can clear. Lovely ball over the top by Ben White towards Madueke. Ball's gone out of play on the far side. It'll be an Arsenal throw as it comes off of Suarez last. 33 goals to his name this season in all competitions. Luis Suarez, 5 of those in the Champions League. Zubamendi coming forward now for Arsenal over the halfway line. Then knocks it back to Rice. Rice will find Saliba. Everybody now bar David Raya inside the Sporting Lisbon half. Saliba again just chooses the easy option, the short pass towards Declan Rice. He goes for the 1-2 between himself and Zubamendi. Then a ball with pace towards the inside right position at Ødegaard. On it goes to Ben White. It's got Madueke out the touchline down this near side. Finds the ex-Chelsea man level with the edge of the penalty area. Madueke, ball on his left foot. There's the cross. Not a bad ball in as well, but Sporting get it clear. Gabriel knocks it back out towards the far side, and Trossard. Trossard goes back to the Brazilian. Midway inside the Sporting half, finds Trossard hugging the touchline over the far side, goes back to Declan Rice, left-hand side of the centre circle. On it goes to Ødegaard. Ødegaard immediately plays the ball back to Declan Rice. There are 3 1-2s between the two of them. And eventually, Rice tries another outlet. Ben White onto Madueke. Madueke, lovely move from him, cuts inside, 2 defenders. He's got Trossard over on the far side, goes towards Gabriel. Gabriel eventually is going to knock it out to Trossard over on the far side. First time ball infield to Rice. Rice about 40 yards from goal, just to left of centre. Finds Zubamendi towards the right hand side. He finds Ben White. White just holds the ball up. Thought about the ball forward towards Madueke, but goes for the easier option back to William Saliba. White's made a run forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. It's gone out to Madueke down this near side. Now Madueke down towards the byline he goes. He's brought down. That'll be a free kick to Arsenal. Round about 12 yards from the touchline and about 3 yards outside the penalty area, the right-hand side of the penalty area. The foul from Ario, involved in everything at the moment, the Uruguayan. Bringing down Madueke. Both players were involved in that England v Uruguay game that finished a goal apiece, of course, in the international break. And Ben White, of course, heavily involved in that. He scored and then conceded a penalty, which resulted in that 1-1 draw at Wembley. Still goalless, by the way, between Real Madrid and Bayern. They're a few minutes ahead of this one with this delay. We played 13 minutes here in Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal with a free kick here in a promising position. It's their captain, Martin Ødegaard, who's going to take it. So it's to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Certainly suits the left foot of Ødegaard to clip one in to the likes of Saliba and Gabriel, who are in there. We all know about Arsenal's set-piece prowess. Ødegaard now steps up left foot. It's a good delivery. Oh, my goodness me. And it's gone wide of the left-hand post. And the last touch, was it Zubamendi at the near post? What a delivery that is from Ødegaard. I don't quite know. It's not ended up in the back of the net. I think the only reason it's not ended up in the back of the net for Arsenal is possible because Zubamendi and Gyökeres got in each other's way inside the 6-yard area, but it has resulted in a corner, the first of the evening. Arsenal from this near side. How on earth they could judge who had the last touch, I've no idea. There were about 3 or 4 players who went for it at the near post, 2 of which were the 2 Arsenal players of Gyökeres and Zubamendi. So it's going to be Noni Madueke to take this corner from this near side for Arsenal. Gabriel is lurking at the far post. Then you've got the line of players, Ben White, Gyökeres and Zubamendi as well. And in between them, the Japanese Morita for Sporting Lisbon. And it's João Simões who's marking Gabriel at the far post. So Madueke, left-footed in swinger from this near side. And it comes now right above the goalkeeper. Gets something on it. Might fall for Ødegaard. Gets the shot in, drags it wide. And it's behind for a goal kick. Well, what a delivery that was. On the money again from Madueke. Ødegaard should have done better, to be fair. The ball comes in. It's actually, I think it actually came off the crossbar. Cleared towards the edge of the penalty area. Just sort of scrambled clear. Yeah, indeed it did. It hit the crossbar. It wasn't punched clear by the goalkeeper at all. Comes back to Ødegaard. Left-footed from about 14 yards out. I think it just hit the target. And he's put it a couple of yards wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post. 15 minutes played here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. So both teams now have hit the crossbar. As Silva goes out towards the left-hand side of his penalty. Ignacio, that's a poor clearance. Can Arsenal take advantage? No, they can't, because the ball into the box from Ødegaard is poor. And straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. A decent delivery there from the Norwegian, and Gyökeres was in. Again, playing out from the back here. They've lost possession once more, Sporting Lisbon. But that's called back for a free kick by the looks of things. Fouled by Calafiori, who's not happy with the decision, the Italian. Still getting over the disappointment, of course, last midweek with the Italians failing to qualify for the World Cup for the 3rd successive time. After that penalty shootout defeat to Bosnia. So free kick for Sporting Lisbon in their right back position. Back towards the edge of the penalty area. They decide to go long this time. It's not a great one though. Here's Rice. Midway inside the Sporting half. Pops it back towards the halfway line. And here is Martin Zubamendi. Goes square to his right, and Saliba gets the ball back. Again, inside the centre circle, Martin Zubamendi. Gabriel now over on the far side. He's going to go long down the left-hand side, but he's got far too much on it. That's a poor ball forward by the Brazilian, straight through to the goalkeeper. Puts his arm up to apologise to, I assume it was Leandro Trossard over on the far side. He was looking to find if the Belgian had made a run, but was never going to get on the end of that one. Ball placed down on the edge of the 6-yard area by Silva. It goes out to Ignacio. Ignacio's clearance is put out by Martin Ødegaard. Good pressing from Arsenal. Throw in for Sporting in their left-back position. And it'll be taken by their left-back this season. This evening, I should say, Max Ario. who's come the closest to breaking the deadlock in this first 17 minutes. We are still goalless here in the Portuguese capital. Still, we will wait this throw for Mario. Eventually gets it and finds Ben White. It's gone out of play. And, well, that was a strange one from Ben White because it clearly hit Ben White. And then he sort of shepherded the ball out of play, waiting for a throw-in. But the throw-in was clearly going to go to Sporting Lisbon because it came off Ben White. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there. Throw-in for Sporting Lisbon. Down the line it goes. Arsenal clear. Here's Ødegaard. Scoops it back to Declan Rice, who plays it back inside his own half. It's inside the centre circle now with Ricardo Calafiori. The Italian goes square to his right, and William Saliba, who now finds Ben White. White holds the ball up and then goes to down the line to Ødegaard. Gets the ball back immediately, Ødegaard, and White, I should say. And then a ball with pace from Saliba back to David Raya. Raya out to Ødegaard. Lovely turn by him onto Trossard. Seen very little of the Belgians so far in this first 18 minutes. Most of the Arsenal play going forward has been down the right-hand side with the link-up play between Madueke and Ødegaard. Here's Ben White again. Now Saliba. Saliba with a poor ball, just selling it short to Leandro Trossard, who's come over towards the far side, but Arsenal get lucky. It bounces kindly for Gabriel, and they can find a way out over on the far side. Here's Zubamendi, bringing it towards the halfway line. Finds Saliba on his right-hand side, brings it forward towards the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. On it goes to Ødegaard, a little bit of space for the Norwegian. On to Gyökeres. Touches it back to Saliba. Now Madueke hugging the touchline down this near side. Arsenal boss in possession. Rice again inside the centre circle. Makes his way towards the right-hand side and then chops back onto his left foot and finds Zubamendi towards his left-hand side. Zubamendi, involved, of course, in the Spanish games for the European champions in the international break. Spain the favourites for the World Cup, of course, in the summer. Madueke goes inside Ario. It's a brilliant battle going on between the two of those two down this near side. And in the end, the referee has no choice but to blow up and give a free kick to Arsenal. Midway inside the Sporting half, few yards infield from this near touchline. The Arsenal right, Ødegaard behind it again. Madueke's come out towards this near side. And up forward go the likes of Saliba and Gabriel towards the edge of the Sporting penalty area. 20 minutes played here in Lisbon. Still Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Ødegaard's walked away from this one. Going to leave it for Declan Rice. And had his finest moment in an Arsenal shirt, didn't he, in the first leg of the quarter-final last year with that double. Those two incredible free kicks at the Emirates against Real Madrid in that 3-0 victory. Rice, square to Ødegaard. Goes out towards the far side. Here's Trossard, first real opportunity for him. Back infield to Ødegaard. First time ball into the box. It's headed clear by Diamande. Got plenty on it as well, did the Ivory Coast man. All the way back towards the halfway line. It's retrieved by Declan Rice. Rice is inside the centre circle now for Arsenal. Finds Gabriel on his left-hand side. Challenged and goes back to Rice in the end. And still goalless, by the way, in the game in the Bernabeu. First leg between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. First legs to come tomorrow in Paris and in Madrid as well, of course, again for Atletico against Barcelona. Zubamendi, right hand side of the centre circle. Just works his way towards the left-hand side. First time ball forward from Gabriel towards Declan Rice. Arsenal enjoying a lot of possession. The first 20 minutes stats, 70% in favour of Arsenal. But to be fair, the closest we've come to a goal has been from Sporting, of course, with that shot from Mario off the crossbar. Arsenal also hitting the crossbar, but of course that was that directly from a free kick from that corner from Madueke. Looped out towards Trossard over on the far side. Gyökeres battles for it, but Sporting get it cleared. It comes off a Trossard. It's a throw-in to Sporting Lisbon in their right-back position to be taken by Fresneda. Fresneda finds Gonzalez. He goes long towards the halfway line. Ball out towards this near side. Loads of space again for Max Ario down this left-hand side for Sporting. And Ben White comes across eventually. He's almost level with the edge of the penalty area. And then in the end, he just shows too much of it to Ben White. And then fouls him as he tries to win the ball back. So free kick to Arsenal in their right-back position midway through the first half. And it's still Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0. Sporting are looking to make the semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time in a long time, 1982-83. This is their first quarter-final since that year. It's been a long, long time for the Portuguese champions. Ball goes out of play over on the far side. Midway inside the Arsenal half. If that's a little bit further forward than that, actually, it's almost, I would say, level with the edge of the penalty area. Ricardo Calafiori to take this throw in for Arsenal. The Italian back at left back in the absence of Pierre Hincapié, who has made that left back position his own recently for Arsenal. Here's Gyökeres inside the centre circle, does well, spreads play out towards Madueke. Now Madueke inside Ario he goes. Ball on his left foot. There's the overlap offered from Ben White, but he decides to knock it back to Ødegaard. Was then fouled, but the referee's allowed play to continue because Arsenal still have possession, not any longer, because Ødegaard cheaply gives it away. And now Sporting Lisbon can come forward. I think the referee did the right thing by providing the advantage to Arsenal, and it's Ødegaard's fault that he then gave the ball away when in a good position. Halfway line, João Simões, the 19-year-old, came through the youth system here at Sporting Lisbon, goes back to Diomande inside the centre circle, square to Inacio. Now it's Ario again down this near side, and in the end it's popped back towards the edge of the 18-yard line as Arsenal look to push up. Fresneda down the line towards Catamo, who's seen very little of the ball so far. In the end, Sporting go all the way back to goalkeeper Silva, edge of the 6-yard area. Out to Ignacio, closed down by Ødegaard. And plays it straight to Madueke, really sloppy from him. Can Madueke take advantage? Down towards the byline he goes. He's going to be brought down again by Ario. He's got to be careful, because if these continue to not... if he continues to bring down Noni Madueke, it's going to result in a yellow card in the end, isn't it? It was really sloppy from Sporting, giving the ball away initially. And then Madueke makes his way down towards the byline. Ario comes across, brings him down. Free kick to Arsenal. Right down by the byline. Ario suggesting that Madueke dived, but looking at a replay of it, that certainly wasn't the case. Don't think it was worthy of a yellow card. Here's Ødegaard. Now Gyökeres cleared, and then Ødegaard loops one over his head. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. It's going to bounce down towards the corner flag, and Ario will retrieve for Sporting Lisbon, and then drills one out towards the far side. Got to be careful there as he plays it across the edge of his 18-yard line, and it's retrieved by Simões over on the far side for Sporting Lisbon. Plays it back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Here's Diomande again. 26 minutes played now here, still goalless. It's not been the greatest 26 minutes of Champions League football I've seen this season, I'll be honest. It's intriguing more than anything else, I would say. It's still goalless at the Bernabeu, by the way. And that would certainly suit Bayern Munich. You would feel like they'd be very happy to take away a 0-0 draw. Vincent Kompany's men into the second leg next week in Germany. They'd almost certainly be the favourites if Real Madrid can't beat them tonight. Real, who had that impressive win in the last round, of course, against Manchester City, with that big win in the first leg, of course, at the Bernabeu. Here's Suarez now on this near side, battling with Saliba, and Saliba is too strong, and Saliba wins the ball back and goes all the way back to David Raya, who's going to clear long first time down the centre. He's got far too much on it there, the Spaniard. That's going to go all the way through to his goalkeeper, puts his arm up to apologise. Another one of those apologies for poor distribution from Arsenal. We've already seen that from Gabriel earlier. Here's Fresneda. Back towards Inacio, midway inside his own half. He's going to go long. Searching that run again of... well, it was again over the top towards Ario, but Ario's first time balled in towards the penalty area. He totally miscued it, and it just goes through harmlessly to David Raya. Arsenal on the way again. Here's Zubamendi over the halfway line. A little bit of space for the Spaniard now. Goes out to Madueke. I think this is where Arsenal's best chance really rises here. Down this right-hand side with Madueke. Looks good tonight. Down towards the byline. There's the cross. And it's not a great one from the Englishman. It's landed on the roof of the net. Down the right-hand side. As the challenge came in, he tried to curl it back into the 6-yard area. And it goes behind for a Sporting Lisbon goal kick as we head towards the half-hour mark here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. Well, I've just looked at a replay of that Noni Madueke cross that came in from the right-hand side, and I can't see that it's hit Max Ario, but the referee has given Arsenal a corner here, and I'll tell you what, if they take advantage of this, we'll be looking back on that moment. I only saw one angle of it, but it just looked as if Madueke just miscued the cross. But Madueke with the corner, in it comes. It's a good delivery, cleared at the near post, and the referee's whistle has gone for something inside the 6-yard area. Again, it was a dangerous delivery, and the referee has spotted something in there. Just looking at a replay, in it came towards the near post. Then White gets a little flick on. I'm not entirely sure there was a foul in there. I couldn't see anything, but the referee blew up immediately. I assume it was on Ben White at the near post. Free kick to Sporting Lisbon. Silva, edge of the 6-yard area, goes to his left, and Ignacio, he goes long left-footed towards the halfway line, and Suarez and Saliba end up in a bundle. Referee allows play to go on, and Arsenal just nonchalantly play it back to David Raya. Suarez gets back to his feet now, and Gabriel plays it on to Martin Zubamendi, advancing towards the halfway line for Arsenal. Declan Rice turns inside the centre circle, finds Gabriel over on the far side. Over the halfway line it goes to Ricardo Calafiori. Now Trossard needs to get involved more. Trossard has been very quiet so far, the Belgian. Scored some big goals for Arsenal since his arrival at the Emirates from Brighton. Space has opened up now for Ricardo Calafiori down the left-hand side. Brings it over the halfway line, then holds it up and goes back to Gabriel, left-hand side of the centre circle. Infield to Zubamendi again. Zubamendi finds Saliba inside the centre circle for Arsenal, who continue to boss possession without really finding a cutting edge of sorts. Can they now through Ødegaard? Ødegaard works his way towards the right-hand side, knocks it out to Madueke. First time ball infield to Ben White. Now it's Trossard, who's popped up in a central position, goes back out to White. Now Calafiori down this right-hand side, down towards the byline. There's the cross, it's got far too much on it. Declan Rice will retrieve it over on the far side. It was the right idea from Calafiori, just got far too much on that cross. Arsenal will come again though. Here's Saliba just outside the centre circle, out to White in the inside right position. On to Madueke in field, and Gyökeres comes across. Is he then fouled? Yes, he is. That'll be a free kick to Arsenal. It's going to be a yellow card actually, and it's the challenge by Morita, who came across sliding in to Trossard. It is, sorry, not Gyökeres, and it's a yellow card for the 30-year-old Japanese, and it's a free kick as well to Arsenal. First yellow card of the evening then, just after the half-hour mark. And they had a real overload on the right-hand side, Arsenal, because Calafiori and Trossard, both playing over on the left, came over to this near side, and suddenly they had Trossard, Calafiori, Madueke and Ben White all over on the right-hand side. And Morita came across to put an end to it, but has ended up conceding this free kick and also gone in the book for his troubles. So free kick to Arsenal, midway inside the Sporting Lisbon half, just a few yards in field from this near touchline, the Arsenal right. Declan Rice is going to take it right-footed. Forward again come the likes of Gabriel and Saliba. Calafiori is lurking as well there. Sporting Lisbon with a line, a very vigilant line at the moment, about 12 yards from goal. So it's Rice, left arm up in the air. In it comes. Headed clear and out towards the far side. It'll be retrieved by Trossard. In fact, Trossard can just allow the ball to roll out of play. So throw into Arsenal, left with the edge of the penalty area down the left. Trossard leaves it for Calafiori. So Riccardo Calafiori, who has got a long throw in his locker, whether he's willing to use it on this occasion, I don't know. Gabriel and Saliba have still stayed forward following the free kick some moments ago, and it looks as if he is going to go for the long one because he's gone all the way back to the advertising hoardings, Calafiori, and it comes. And Trossard battling at the near post, but the referee's whistle has already gone. Again, I'm not sure why, as with that corner some moments ago. But Suarez has been booked, and that is a real problem for Sporting Lisbon, because it means he misses the second leg. It must have been for something he said. And that is a real problem for Sporting Lisbon. Their top scorer is going to miss the second leg now. And just because, as far as I'm aware, just something he said, because I didn't see any challenge or anything like that, and it happened after the free kick was awarded. Sporting have got to get themselves together here. And also, they're going to have to play the second leg without their man who scored 33 goals in all competitions this season. The ball's out of play. It's an Arsenal throw, midway inside the Sporting half. Calafiori to take it over on the far side, the Arsenal left. Rice goes across, as does Ødegaard. But in the end, he goes long towards Gyökeres, who gets a little flick on. Nice one actually down towards Trossard, down towards the corner flag. Knocks it back down the line. Rice again, Trossard with pace. Trossard runs into trouble over on the far side, and Freshneda can bring it clear. Just knocks it down the line, though, straight to a blue shirt, and that blue shirt is Gabriel to set Arsenal on their way again. It's very congested over on the far side, and Arsenal recycle all the way back towards the halfway line. It's Saliba. Saliba onto Rice. Just outside the centre circle, goes back to the Frenchman over the halfway line. Nice ball towards Ødegaard. Ødegaard is going to find Madueke. First time ball back to Ben White down the line. Continues his run down the right side and scooped up over the top by Ben White, but it's going to have too much on it, and it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. And, well, he's already been picked, Luis Suarez, and he just can't keep quiet. He's a brilliant player. I've seen some of the goals he's scored this season. It's been absolutely superb. He really has. But he's just one of those players, he just is unable to keep his mouth shut. And it's ended up getting him in the book and got him suspended for the second leg. And he's still going. He hasn't managed to stop all night. Now, ball forward down the right-hand side for Gyökeres. Holds it up well and then goes back to Ødegaard. This is promising for Arsenal. Ødegaard on towards Madueke, edge of the penalty area. Half-hearted appeal for a handball there. Sporting get it half clear. Zubamendi will pick it up again, though. And Zubamendi goes back towards the halfway line and finds Gabriel. Calafiori back in field to Zubamendi again, left-hand side of the centre circle. Trossard over on the far side, tries to thread one through towards Calafiori down towards the byline, but that's not going to work for Martin Zubamendi. It's a poor ball, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Shepherded out by Diamande, but all he had to do there was just get ahead of Calafiori. There's no way he was going to get there. 10 minutes to half-time, Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0, and still goalless in the Bernabeu. About 6 minutes to half-time in that one. Goal kick then for Sporting Lisbon, who've soaked up all this pressure. 65-35 in favour of Arsenal, but they've had four shots in total. Arsenal have only had one. They play out from the back and lose it. Can Arsenal take advantage? No, they can't, because Zubamendi loses possession. Sloppy, really, from the Spaniard. And again, they play out from the back, straight to Declan Rice. They can't keep doing this, surely. Arsenal just don't take advantage, though. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter. They can play out from the back. And on both occasions, they played it straight to an Arsenal player. First one was Zubamendi. It started raining here now at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. The first time it was played out from the back, straight to Zubamendi, who just lost the ball pretty much immediately. The second one, played out from the back, went straight to Declan Rice, and he lost the ball pretty much immediately. So I guess if you are playing out from the back and your opponents aren't going to take advantage, then it doesn't really matter, I guess, does it? And that is how this game is at the moment. It's not been a great spectacle, it really hasn't. Sporting now coming over the halfway line for the first time in a long time. But the ball goes out of play. They do win a throw-in, though, over on the far side, and that'll be taken by Ivan Freshneda, the Spaniard, ex-Valladolid from La Liga, 21 years of age. Back towards the edge of the 18-yard line for Sporting. And knocked over towards the far side by Morita. Nice ball as well. Down the line it goes. This is better from Sporting over the halfway line. Suarez has made the run, and also Gonzalez, left-hand side of the penalty area. It's just held up by Katam over on the far side, and Arsenal have got players back now. Look promising that for Sporting, I'll be honest. But they've just allowed Arsenal to get back in position here. It's gone all the way back towards the halfway line. It's Ignacio now, the captain, inside the centre circle. Eventually it comes out towards Gonzalez down this near side, and then it goes all the way back to Diomande inside the centre circle. We've got 8 minutes left of the first half. A forgettable first 37 minutes, if I'm honest, here in the Portuguese capital, as Arsenal push out and push Lisbon back towards the edge of the penalty area. They go long in the end towards Suarez. It's Suarez against William Saliba, and it's the Frenchman who comes out on top. And then back to David Raya. First time clearance from him's out of play. He's just rushed it a little bit there, David Raya. So throw in now down this near side for Sporting. Midway inside the Arsenal half, down the Sporting left. Taken by Ario, who goes back to Ignacio. Plays it inside the centre circle to Diomande. And Diomande goes on to Simos. Low ball out towards the right-hand side. And now it's Trincao, the ex-Barca man. Back to Diomande. Odegaard forces Diomande back. Rushes across the ball out towards the near side to Ario, but he finds him. And then suddenly there's a bit of space midway inside the Arsenal half for Simos. Spreads play out towards the right-hand side. This is better from Sporting. Cross has got to come in, surely. And it doesn't come in. It's a low ball towards the edge of the penalty, and that's just overran, and Arsenal can bring it clear. Not particularly well, though, because Calafiori tries to find Odegaard, can't find him. Odegaard wants a free kick. He's not getting anything of the sorts, and Sporting Lisbon will come again. There's the ball down towards the byline, and it's Katamo. Katamo, does he get the cross in? He goes back down the line to Fresneda. Infield to Diomande. Diomande's going to have a crack here. Left-footed, always rising into the crowd to behind the goal towards our left-hand side and behind for a goal kick for Arsenal. 6 minutes left in the first half. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Bayern Munich have taken the lead at the Bernabeu. What a huge, huge goal that could be for Vincent Kompany's German champions against the 15-time champions. And it's Luis Diaz, the ex-Liverpool man, who's having an absolutely fantastic season at Bayern Munich. His first season, of course, since arriving from Merseyside in the summer. Absolutely superb. Is Madueke down this near side for Arsenal, tries to go round Trincao, goes round Trincao, now then pokes it on down towards the byline. Ben White, there's the overlap, there's the cross. It's an awful cross from Ben White. It really is. Really good play by Madueke. Goes round Trincao, knocks it down towards the byline. Ben White had made the overlap, did the right thing then. Ben White down towards the byline he goes, and he just clips the ball in from the byline, and it's a very, very simple save for Rui Silva, the ex-Real Betis goalkeeper. Better from Arsenal, but that final ball still very, very disappointing from on this occasion. Ben White now striding forward over on the far side is Fresneda, who's got forward for Sporting. Cross has got to come in, doesn't get it, and Declan Rice can bring it clear. Rice knocks it back to Calafiori, and now first time clearance from Gabriel just on the edge of the 6-yard area, loops it towards the halfway line. A little bit of head tennis over on the far side, and just about kept in play is it over on the far side. Indeed, it is by Trincao, does well. Down the line to Katamo, then gets the ball back, brings it in field slightly. 3 minutes to half, or 4 minutes I should say, to half time. Now it's Ignacio, spreads play out towards this near side. Here's Max Ario. Ario goes back in field and back towards the halfway line, and Ignacio 1-2 between himself and Pedro Gonzalez, the ex-Wolverhampton Wanderers youth. Goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, just to the left of the D. Under no pressure at all, the goalkeeper, and just knocks it nonchalantly towards his right side. And Diomande, it really is a really chess-like game, this one. It really is. Neither team really willing to take an opportunity, take a chance. Can happen in these two-legged ties, of course. Ball goes out of play on the far side. It'll be a Sporting Lisbon throw midway inside their own half, down the right-hand side, as the ball comes off of Leandro Trossard. So throw in for Sporting, and it'll be taken by Fresneda. as the rain continues to pour. You just see it on Fresneda's face, and his hair is absolutely soaking. Really, really wet evening now here in the Portuguese capital. As Madueke gets it on, Ødegaard now edge of the penalty area, opens up for Martin Ødegaard. It's a shot that's on target, but it's a simple save for the goalkeeper. It's another one where maybe you'd expect the Arsenal captain to do better. Right-footed shot. It's a comfortable save going towards the goalkeeper's left-hand side, and he's not going to be beaten by that. Free kick now for Sporting midway inside their own half as Suarez comes back and then is brought down by, I think it was Calafiori. So free kick to Sporting. And Luis Suarez is having words. This time, a lot of time he has words with himself. He just seems to be talking to himself. But on this occasion, he's in conversation with Gabriel, the Arsenal centre-back. Here's Diomande. He's going to go long. Straight to Calafiori. The Italian's touch is not particularly good, though. And Sporting have it again inside the centre circle with Gonzalez. Just held up by Madueke. He's got Ario to his left-hand side, hugging the touchline down this near side. He goes back in field and into the centre circle to Morita. The Japanese square to Diomande. Back towards the halfway line it goes. Left-hand side of the centre circle, Ignacio. Ball with pace, left-footed. Out towards the near side, and it does find Ario. And back towards Morita again, just outside the centre circle, finds Diomande towards his right-hand side. Low ball out towards that far touchline, and it's Catamo now. Catamo, the Mozambique international. Ball with pace towards the edge of the penalty area. Went for the return ball as well. Couldn't get it. I think it was Calafiori who got his foot in there to get it clear for Arsenal towards the halfway line, but Sporting will come again, and they're finishing the first half strongly here, the Portuguese champions, allowing Arsenal the fair share of the possession inside this first half. Half-time at the Bernabeu, by the way. Real Madrid 0, Bayern Munich 1. Bayern Munich will certainly be favourites for that one if they can get the win at the Bernabeu and still have the home tie, of course, at the Allianz in 8 days' time. Winner of that one will play the winner of the tie between Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool, which will be played out tomorrow in the first leg in the Parc des Princes, second leg at Anfield 8 days or 6 days later, I should say, because of course it goes from a Wednesday night to a Tuesday and a Tuesday night to a Wednesday. Arsenal come over the halfway line. Space for Declan Rice has opened up. Rice advancing down that left-hand side for Arsenal. Just holds it up midway inside the Sporting half, and then infield he goes towards Trossard. Shot comes in from Trossard. It must be about 40 yards out. It's blocked. And then Sporting just clear long. And go all the way through to David Raya. He's outside of his penalty area, so won't be able to pick the ball up. Just drills it down the line, but it's a nice ball as well from the Spanish goalkeeper. Inside stoppage time, and I tell you what, there isn't going to be any. How often do we see that? Half-time, it's not been a great first 45. Really cagey game. Eminent of a first leg tie and a two-legged tie, I guess. It is goalless here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. In this first leg of the Champions League quarter-final, Sporting has been nil, Arsenal nil. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to a wet Lisbon here in this Champions League first leg in the quarter-finals. It's Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0. Teams out for the second half in what was a very, very cagey first 45 minutes. Closest we came to a goal was a shot from Max Ario, which I'm being told got the slightest of fingertips from David Rea to push onto the crossbar. I thought it just hit the crossbar without intervention from the Arsenal keeper, but if so, that is confirmed. That is some save. So, Sporting Lisbon with Silva in goal. Back four from left to right. Ario, Inacio, Diamande and Fresneda. Simos and Marita. Marita's on a yellow card. Gonçalves, Trincao and Catamo behind Suarez, their leading goal scorer. For Arsenal, David Rea in goal. Back four from left to right. Calafiori, Gabriel Saliba and White. The midfield trio of Rice, Supermendy and Odegaard, and the front three of Trossard on the left, Madueke on the right, and ex-Sporting Lisbon man Victor Gyökeres down the centre. On the benches for the Portuguese, Briganca, Dibas, Diego Calle, Faye, Gonçalves, Kocharashvili, Mangas Nel, Quaresma, Vagianidis and Virginia. And for Arsenal, Kepa, Daumann, Gabriel Jesus, Harriman Anus, Havertz, Lewis Skelly, Martinelli, Mosquera, Norgard, Ransom and Salmon. There's going to be an early corner here for Sporting Lisbon right at the start of the kick-off. They are in their usual home strip, the green and white striped hoop shirts, the black shorts and the white socks, and Arsenal in a change strip tonight, the navy shirts, white shorts, black socks. In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard area, and Arsenal get it clear towards the far side. That's their first corner they've had this evening, Sporting Lisbon. Our referee for this evening is Daniel Siebert from Germany, as Sporting go all the way back towards the halfway line. The first leg, of course, tonight. Second leg is in 8 days' time in London. And I can also tell you that Bayern Munich have got a second right at the start of the second half in the Bernabeu. That could be as good as over that tie. And Harry Kane, who else has got the goal? So it's Real Madrid 0, Bayern Munich 2. Luis Diaz got the first, and the second inside the first 20 seconds of that second half to put Bayern in a fantastic position with that second leg to come in the Allianz. Of course, in 8 days' time, they will be huge favourites now to advance to a semi-final against either Paris Saint-Germain, the reigning champions, or Liverpool. Arsenal playing out from the back with Saliba. Just holds it up and goes back to Odegaard. Arsenal captain. No changes at half-time, by the way. We are as we were. There's Odegaard. Finds Saliba again towards his right-hand side. 1-2 between himself and Zubimendi. Seen a lot of this from Arsenal tonight. A lot of playing around at the back. No real cutting edge from the Gunners, though. Seen very little of particularly Leandro Trossard. A few good moments from Madueke as Odegaard plays the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. It's knocked out towards this near side, and the ball eventually goes out of play. So it's an Arsenal throw-in, level with the edge of the penalty area down the left. Calafiori looking to take a quick one, which he does. Finds Odegaard, 35 yards from goal. Loops it back out to Calafiori down this near side. And Calafiori wins the throw-in. This time it's Trossard looking to take a quick one. The Belgian thinks better of it and leaves it for Ricardo Calafiori. So the throw-in is level with the edge of the penalty area down the left-hand side for Arsenal, who will be looking for a lot more in the second half as far as an attacking sense go. They're plenty of possession in the first half, saw a lot of the ball, but unable to create a great deal. Odegaard had a couple of efforts that he should have done better with. Here is the Arsenal captain. He wants a free kick and he doesn't get it, and he loses possession. Sloppy from him. He's not had the best of games. He really hasn't, the Arsenal captain. Ball down this near side is not going to reach his intended zipping, which was Catamo. Tidied up nicely by Declan Rice. Goes back to David Rea. Loops one out towards the far side, and Arsenal are on their way again. Here's Zubimendi. And it goes to Calafiori. He's popped up inside the centre circle. On it goes to Odegaard. Now a little bit of space for the Norwegian. And then clips one with pace out towards Trossard. Cuts inside the defender. Ball on his right foot. This is good from Trossard. Gets the shot in. It's very in keeping with the game so far, that shot from Leandro Trossard. Just found some space around about 25 yards from goal. Just opened up quite nicely for the Belgian. Then right-footed. A real daisy cutter. No pace on it. No direction either. Well wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post. Poor effort from him. And behind for a goal kick. And if anything has summed up the first half for Arsenal, certainly that is it. Plenty of possession, but toothless thus far in front of goal. Sporting go long towards the halfway line. It's well held up actually over on the far side. It's eventually gone out of play, but it's Ben White who had the last touch. White retaining his position at right back for Arsenal this evening, despite that mistake at the weekend. Big mistake which allowed Championship side Southampton to take the lead. Eventually went on to win, of course, by 2-1. Here's Catamo advancing down this right-hand side for Sporting. Goes all the way back towards the halfway line, though, inside the centre circle with Asio. Drills it forward with pace towards the penalty area. It's got too much on it, though, as Catamo had made a lung-busting run into the penalty area to try and get on the end of that ball forward, but had far too much pace on it, and it harmlessly goes behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. And we played 5 minutes at the start of the second half. Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0. I guess Arsenal would be happier with the 0-0, but I'm sure they'd want to get a win tonight and make it far more comfortable. They ended up with a draw, of course, in the last round away from home in the first leg. All their because they finished top of the group phase, all their first legs will be away from home, and it was Bayer Leverkusen. They got a 1-1 draw there in Germany with a late Kai Havertz penalty, and then the comfortable win at home at the Emirates by 2-0, seeing them through to this round. And Ødegaard now spreads one out towards this near side, towards Trossard. It's not going to reach the Belgian. Cleared though. Calafiori then with a clear foul just on the edge of the penalty area on Catamo. That's a free kick for Sporting Lisbon. An unnecessary challenge as well, to be fair, or foul I should say, from Ricardo Calafiori, because it looked like the ball was going to, as it was cleared, was going to fall kindly for Arsenal for Declan Rice, and the foul wouldn't have made any difference, to be quite honest with you. But free kick to Sporting. For Schneider. Low ball towards the halfway line. That's a sloppy one. Trossard has it back. Trossard now. Nice ball towards Ødegaard in the inside right position. Madueke to his right. Just holds it up. Waits for support. Ben White. Ben White leaves the ball to run towards Madueke, who's pretty much level with the edge of the penalty area. And he cuts inside. Ario brings him down. It's a free kick. I think Madueke's not happy because he's been brought down a few times by Max Ario, and he's not been booked yet, the Uruguayan. But it will be a free kick in a dangerous position for us. In a similar position, in fact, they had one in the first half, which was taken by Ødegaard. He drilled it in towards the mix, and there were panic stations, but in the end, Sporting managed to clear their lines. And it looks like they're going to need to do exactly the same again, because it will be the Norwegian to take this one. So it's on the right-hand side of the penalty area, about 18 yards from the dead ball line. In the 8th minute of the second half, Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0, with Bayern Munich leading Real Madrid by 2-0. Ødegaard, can he deliver something here? The captain, up he steps, left-footed. Oh, and it's pushed over the bar by the goalkeeper. I don't know if he went for goal, but it was on target, and it had to be dealt with by Rui Silva. Left-footed. I think Ødegaard's just gone to get it into the mix there, in towards that 6-yard area. And it's heading in before Rui Silva puts out the right arm and pushes it over the top for Arsenal's third corner of the evening. Did his job well there, the ex-Real Betis man. Corner then for Arsenal, to be taken by Noni Madueke from the far side, the Arsenal right, left-footed in-swinger. Madueke in tonight. No Bukayo Saka in the squad. In comes this corner, gets the flick on, and it ends up on the roof of the net, but I think it's going to be another corner. Indeed it is. I think it was Trincao, possibly with the last touch. Just looking at a replay of it, was just looped it over. Could have ended up absolutely anywhere. Well, it ended up on the roof of his own net. And Arsenal will get another corner immediately, and Nani Madueke will get to do it all over again for the 4th time this evening for Arsenal in the 55th minute. Gabriel is stood on the penalty spot at the moment. Behind him is Ødegaard, just on the edge of the penalty area. So Madueke looks like he's going to play it in again into that 6-yard area, that crowded 6-yard area. Odegaard's now gone across towards Madueke just in case he wants to go short, but he does play it in and almost finds the header. Gabriel, there's a Sporting player down, they've got it clear and they've gone long, and David Raya comes rushing out of his goal and gets a header out towards the far side. Needs to get back in goal, and it's down towards the left hand side. Raya is back in his goal now, and here is Gonçalves, just holds it up to the left of the penalty area when he maybe should have played the ball in, because Arsenal got everybody back behind the ball now. Eventually the cross does come in and it evades absolutely everybody and goes behind for a goal kick. But David Raya just showing yet again his speed there, rushing off his goal line. He's actually inside the centre circle when he heads the ball out towards the far side, as Suarez was running through on goal, and he would have been running through on goal had David Raya not come out and headed that clear for Arsenal. So goal kick to the Gunners. 10 minutes played at the start of the second half. Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 0. And here is William Saliba, and it goes to Declan Rice. Goes in between two Sporting players, just forced towards the left-hand side. Then a nice ball out towards Trossard. Trossard now level with the edge of the penalty area down this left-hand side for Arsenal. Looking to take on Freshneda. There's the cross left-footed. It's a decent delivery as well. It almost finds Noni Madueke at the far post, but it will be cleared over on the far side for Sporting. Just about kept in play as well, and then there's a foul there surely from, is it Saliba on Suarez? So free kick. Good work though from Trossard down this near side, the left-footed delivery towards the far post. Keeper just gets something on it actually. I think that just takes it away from Noni Madueke. Good goalkeeping actually from Rui Silva. Didn't see that at first glance, but it just got fingertips on that cross to take it away from the ex-Chelsea man. Here comes Sporting. There's a foul on the halfway line, but the referee rightly has allowed play to continue because Sporting have possession. They're in a good position. Looped out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Cross has got to come in surely. Does do. There's the shot, and it's dragged wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post. Good move from Sporting Lisbon. And there's a player down. It was the foul in the build-up actually. I think it's is it Catamo that's gone down under a challenge from Ricardo Calafiori. The referee plays a really good advantage actually. It's looped out towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Gonçalves cuts it back, and the shot comes in. It's dragged well wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post in the end. I think it was, it might have been Trincao with the shot. 12 minutes played at the start of the second. Goalless here in the Portuguese capital. Madueke infield to Odegaard on the halfway line, pokes it inside the centre circle to Martin Zubamendi. Zubamendi is challenged in between two Sporting Lisbon players, and he's lost possession there, the Spaniard, and he needs Ben White to come back and help him out. They still have possession, those Sporting, but they played it back inside their own half. Here's Ignacio. Now Diamande goes out towards this near side. A little bit of space is opened up for Catamo. Looking to take on Ricardo Calafiori. Down towards the byline he goes, and the Italian slides in, puts the ball out of play, and it's a corner for Lisbon, their second of the evening. Good work by Catamo, but Calafiori doing what you'd expect your fullback to do in that position. Corner will be taken by Pedro Gonçalves. They're readying a change actually just before the hour mark here are Sporting Lisbon. You can see Rui Borges is readying somebody. In comes the ball towards the near post. It's a poor delivery and Arsenal get it clear, but there's already a foul anyway. The referee's already blown up for a foul inside that 6-yard area, so it's a free kick for Arsenal. And will that be the opportunity for Sporting to make this change? No yellow card given, by the way, for Calafiori for that challenge. Here's William Saliba bringing the ball forward for Arsenal. Now Odegaard. Odegaard, who's a bit of a mixed bag tonight, really. The Arsenal captain. Seen plenty of the ball, as he always does. He's always calling for the ball, isn't he? Has it again now to the right-hand side of the centre circle. Brings it over the halfway line and goes out towards that far side. Ricardo Calafiori back in field again to Saliba inside the centre circle. Now Odegaard picks it up again, advancing towards the edge of the penalty area, clips one in, and it's volleyed clear and out towards the far side. It'll fall at the feet though of Noni Madueke. Zubamendi, Ødegaard. Now Saliba. Saliba goes back to Gabriel inside the centre circle for Arsenal. Finds the Frenchman again to the right-hand side of the centre circle. On it goes to Ødegaard. Ødegaard immediately returns the favour by going back to Saliba, then sets Ødegaard on his way again. Clips one over the top. Headed down by Ben White and out towards Madueke. Madueke first time ball back to Ødegaard. Ødegaard ball on his left foot. Is he going to get the cross in now, the Norwegian? No, he goes back out to Madueke. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Back infield to Ødegaard. Ødegaard again thought about the cross, thinks better of it, goes back to Gabriel. It just feels again as if this latest attack from Arsenal is just fizzing out again. And in the end, it's gone all the way back to David Raya. 2 or 3 times Ødegaard had the opportunity to do something there, either get a shot in, maybe get a cross in. He elected not to, and in the end, Arsenal were forced back by Sporting Lisbon. Declan Rice now goes out to Madueke over on the far side. He's continued the run down the right-hand side. Madueke cuts in field. Ball on his left foot. Low ball towards Gyökeres. Touches it a little bit heavy, but he does well to smuggle it back out to Ben White. He goes back to Ødegaard now. 35 yards from goal, just to right of centre again. Ødegaard looking to do something, but not really doing anything other than playing it back to his centre-back, Gabriel. Zubamendi plays it inside the centre circle again to Gabriel. It's safety-first football from Arsenal. It really is. Here's Rice. It just needs somebody to take a chance, really, more than anything else. Ødegaard goes back out to Madueke again. If anybody's going to, you feel it's probably going to be Madueke. He's won the throw in there, right next to the corner flag, as he plays it off of Ario. 61 minutes played now here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. And Arsenal will have a throw, but before all that, there's going to be a change. And it's now Simons who's coming off. And he's going to be replaced by Daniel Briganca, by the looks of things, the number 23 for Sporting Lisbon. And here comes the change for Sporting. And indeed it is Daniel Briganca, the number 23, the 26-year-old Portuguese, to come on in place of João Simões, the 19-year-old. With 62 minutes on the clock. Big hug from his manager there on the touchline, Rui Borges. A little bit of concern here for Arsenal because the trainers come on to suit club captain Martin Ødegaard. And there's just a break in play. It's just given the opportunity for a few players to come towards the near side, grab a refreshment, have a word with coaching staff. Still Real Madrid 0, Bayern Munich 2. Goals from Luis Diaz and Harry Kane. Both having incredible seasons, aren't they? And they just could fire Bayern Munich to this Champions League trophy this season. It's going to be some match, isn't it, if they get through against PSG. Let's not write off Liverpool, let's not write off Real Madrid at this stage, but that would be some game, wouldn't it? On this side of the draw, it's Sporting and Arsenal looking to get through for a tie against either Atletico or Barcelona. They know they're going to have a first leg in Europe. Forward it goes to Gyökeres inside the penalty area. So congested, comes back to Zubamendi. Scores for Arsenal. Right-footed shot from the edge of the D, and it's curled into the goal. What a goal that is. Not really in keeping with the game, but Martin Zubamendi won't care because in the 63rd minute, he's given Arsenal the lead. It's Sporting 0, Arsenal 1, and it's Martin Zubamendi with the goal. The ball was played with pace towards the penalty area to Gyökeres. Gyökeres was crowded out, but what that did is that gave the space. And in fact, this is going to be ruled out because Gyökeres is offside as it's played to him, I think Gyökeres is offside in the build-up. It's a lovely finish by Zubamendi, but as the ball's played forward towards Gyökeres, he lays it off back to Ben White, I think it is, knocks it to the left-hand side. Zubamendi finishes right-footed from the edge of the D, curls it in, and I think the goal is about to be disallowed. Lovely finish from Zubamendi. And indeed, it will be a free kick inside the penalty area for Sporting Lisbon. It remains goalless, and it's because of the ex-Sporting Lisbon man, Victor Gyökeres, who was offside in the build-up. It was a lovely ball through to him. He just found himself in a lot of space in that penalty area, but maybe that's one of the reasons he was in a lot of space there, Victor Gyökeres, because he was about a yard offside. laid it off to Ben White. Ben White just tapped it towards the right-hand side. First time finish from Zubimendi, curled it beautifully into the corner, but offside. Now there's going to be a free kick here for Arsenal as Suarez brings down Calafiori, I think it was, on the edge of the penalty area. Yeah, just crunches straight into the Italian. It's a nasty one actually from Suarez. So free kick to Arsenal. Edge of their own penalty area. Just looking at a replay of that offside, he's a good yard offside, maybe a couple of yards offside actually, Gyökeres. The Lisbon defence just stepped up, did their job. Still goalless here in Lisbon. First time ball by Trossard forward towards that penalty area, gets way too much on it. The Belgian bounces once and goes through to Rui Silva, the goalkeeper. Might give Arsenal a bit more encouragement though. And the ball really that opened up Sporting Lisbon was the ball from a central defender. In the end, it was Gabriel who cut open the defence with that ball forward. You know, not one of the players that you expect maybe to do something like that for Arsenal. The Odegaards and the Maduekis and the Trossards on the field, but it was a defence-splitting pass in the end from your centre-back, Gabriel, that opened up that Sporting Lisbon defence on that occasion. 25 minutes left for play. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Here is Zubimendi. Goes square to his right. And Saliba. Saliba holds the ball up under a little bit of pressure from Gonzalez. Goes back to Gabriel. Rice now takes up the ball just outside the centre circle inside the Arsenal half. Saliba just over the halfway line. Back it goes to Rice. And he finds Gabriel. It's not the best ball from Rice, just slightly behind Gabriel. Has to retreat slightly. Brings it over the halfway line. And then goes out to Trossard down this near side. Arsenal still yet to make a change. Trossard infield to Zubimendi. Zubimendi back to Saliba. Calling for it over on the far side is Madueke. Finds Madueke. Madueke now level with the edge of the penalty area. Ario is after him again, and on this occasion it's been a really good battle actually between those two. It's Ario on this occasion who comes out on top, and he can bring the ball clear for Sporting Lisbon. He's got to be careful here. He's lost possession. Now Zubimendi. On it goes to Gyökeres. Gyökeres inside the penalty area looking to find space for the shot. Gets the shot in, but it's took a little deflection and harmlessly goes through to the goalkeeper. It was initially good play actually from Ario, but then he sort of danced across the edge of his own penalty area, being a bit cocky, I think, after winning that ball off of Madueke. Loses possession, won back by Zubimendi, who fed Gyökeres. With three defenders around him. Here come Arsenal again, edge of the penalty area. Rice, now Trossard, left-hand corner of the penalty area. Cuts infield slightly, ball on his right foot. Everything towards his right-hand side. Finds Ben White, now Madueke, right-hand side of the penalty area. Infield to Trossard, lays it off to Odegaard. Odegaard twisting, turning, goes back out to Madueke once more. There's the cross left-footed. There's the header from Diamandi on the edge of the six-yard area, clear. Trossard picks it up again just outside the D, on the chest, out to Odegaard. Now Madueke. Madueke down towards the byline, that's nice. The cross needs to be good. It's a decent one, but in the end, it's come off of, I think it was Gonzalo Ignacio. And it goes harmlessly through to the goalkeeper, who wastes no time at all in bowling that one out. Straight to Declan Rice down this near side, and Rice goes back to David Raya. Safety first from him. On to Saliba midway through the second half now here. Still goalless, really tight first leg here in Portugal between Sporting Lisbon and Arsenal. Zubimendi, it's opened up a little bit for the Spaniard. Then plays the ball with pace out towards Madueke again over on the far side. Once again looking to take on Ario. He's almost level with the edge of the penalty area. Then knocks it back to Zubimendi once more. Goes back out to Madueke. He's got White ahead of him. And in the end, it goes all the way back to Gabriel inside the centre circle for the Gunners. Bossing possession again. Mikel Arteta's men. Ball threaded through now right inside of the penalty area. Ben White. White back to goal. I'm not sure what he wanted to do there. White didn't do anything in the end apart from lose the ball. He's in a good position inside the penalty area with his back to goal, and just didn't really know what to do with it. And in the end, he just gave up possession. Sporting clear towards the halfway line, but that's straight to Declan Rice, and Arsenal will come again. The referee stopped play for something here. There's a Sporting Lisbon player down. I don't know why he stopped play. It's not a head injury. Just looking at a replay of this one. It's actually a foul on Rice. It's a foul on Rice by Pedro Gonzalez. He's hurt himself by fouling Declan Rice. Why on earth the referee stopped play? Nothing to do with a head injury. Here's a change for Arsenal. And they're going to replace Martin Odegaard with Kai Havertz. Straight swap, I assume. And whether this has got anything to do with Odegaard having the trainer on about 5-6 minutes or so ago, I don't know. Or whether it's just a tactical change for Mikel Arteta. It is like for like, though, with Havertz taking up that number 8 position that Odegaard plays for Arsenal, the right of the three in midfield. Arsenal with possession again after the game restarts, and no issues, no problems for Pedro Gonzalez. He's all fine. Here's Gabriel. Gabriel left foot, he goes back to David Rea, just on the edge of the D. Over at the Bernabeu, it's still Real Madrid 0, Bayern 2. Sounds like Bayern are cruising and will be huge favourites in that second leg with that 2-goal lead. Are Real Madrid going out at the quarter-final stage for the second year running? Long ball forward for Arsenal. That's going to have too much on it. Goes out of play. Looking for Havertz. Throwing for Sporting Lisbon in their left-back position. The ball forward by William Saliba. Just overcooked it, the Frenchman. Remember the exciting teenager, the 16-year-old Max Dowman is on the bench for Arsenal tonight. I wonder if we'll see him at some stage. I can't imagine we would in a first leg, but you never know. Mikel Arteta was asked in the press conference pre-game whether or how close he was to naming Dowman in the starting lineup, and he did say, well, remember, he did play a full match at the weekend, of course, 90 minutes in that cup game and that defeat in the FA Cup. Sporting playing out from the back again. Trossard's won it back. Trossard back to Gabriel, and that's a very odd one from the Brazilian. Loses possession down this near side, very uncharacteristic of him. Straight to Trincao. On to Catamo now. Catamo right inside of the penalty area. Gets the cross in, it's not a good one. And Ben White heads it clear for Arsenal now. Gyökeres, can he hold it up? He's going to get a free kick, the Swede, as he's being pulled by Inacio. Diamande, I should say, the centre-back partner. So free kick to Arsenal midway inside their own half. David Rea will take it by the looks of things, or is he stepping back to allow Gabriel to take it? 18 minutes left on the clock. And at the moment, we're heading to London goalless. And that would certainly favour Arsenal, I guess, with the home leg still to come, but certainly leave Sporting Lisbon very much alive. They have this fantastic home record, of course. 17 successive home wins here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade in all competitions, including, of course, that incredible 5-0 victory in the last round when they came back from 3-0 down against Bodo Glimt, who had that incredible run in the Champions League, beating the likes of Manchester City and Inter Milan, of course. Here's Zubimendi. Finds Saliba towards the right side, brings it over the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. On it goes to Havertz, who gets his first touch and then immediately plays it back to the Frenchman. Havertz, of course, who got the equaliser in the last round in the first leg in the away game against his former club Bayer Leverkusen with a late penalty, won by Noni Madueke. Zubimendi now striding forward. Then goes to White, out to Madueke over on the far side. Once more looking to take on Ario. Ball on his left foot. There comes the cross towards the far post. Oh, it's a dangerous delivery. Nice delivery as well, but just had a little bit too much on it, I think, from Madueke. I'm not entirely sure whether he was going for goal or getting the cross in, but he curls it towards the far post. And Trossard was busting a gut to get in there, but he just had too much on it. I think it was a cross from Madueke, but I'll tell you what, it almost ended up in the back of the net. Arsenal are going to make some changes, and we are indeed going to see 16-year-old Max Dowman. So I assume that'll be a straight swap for Madueke, and also coming on will be Martinelli, which again will I assume, be a straight swap for Leandro Trossard. So they're going to change the two wingers. Trossard has had very little luck at all, really, down the left-hand side. Madueke's had a few moments, but certainly been a quiet one for the Belgian. Just over 15 minutes left for play, still goalless. Here come Sporting over the halfway line. They've made just the one change so far with Briganka. Very intricate stuff on the edge of the penalty. Eventually goes out towards this near side. Attempted cross in, hits Trossard, goes out of play, and it'll be a throw in to Sporting Lisbon down there, right hand side, midway inside their own half. Trossard looks a little bit uncomfortable, actually. I wonder if they'll make the changes now, Arsenal. Indeed they will. So 56 and 11, so it's Leandro Trossard to come off, and Noni Madueke as well. So as expected, it's the two straight swaps down the wings. Madueke down the right hand side. That'll be 16-year-old Max Dowman. Martinelli, who's had a really good Champions League season, and he's going to come on down the left hand side in place of Leandro Trossard. So that's three changes now for the Gunners. Throw-in is taken for Sporting. They've gone all the way back towards the halfway line. Here's Diamande, scoops one out towards this near side, cleared by Arsenal, and Calafiori loops one up into the air towards Martinelli. Cleared though down this near side for Sporting. And it's Morita now. Takes it inside the centre circle. Goodness me, almost sold that ball a little bit short, and Havertz was nearly onto it. They have just about maintained possession, Sporting. And they have it down this near side with Catamo. Loops one down the right-hand side, and then it's cleared long by Gabriel. Gyökeres claims he's had a push in the back and goes down the Swede. He's not going to get the free kick. The game goes on, and Diamande goes square to Inacio. Inacio over on the far side for Sporting Lisbon. Infield it goes to Briganka, the substitute. Briganka advancing towards the halfway line, then releases it to Diamande on his right-hand side. Diamande's going to go long, and it's far too long. It's straight through to David Raya. Wastes no time at all in bowling it out to Zubamendi. Zubamendi holds the ball up midway inside the Arsenal half, then finds Declan Rice. Rice does the same. Very laboured from Arsenal again at the moment. Rice, left-hand side of the centre circle. Over the halfway line, and Martinelli gets his first touch. Can the Brazilian provide something special for the Gunners in this last 13 minutes plus stoppage time and find a goal and get a lead to take back to London next week? Gabriel, right-hand side of the centre circle. Now it's Rice. Pokes it onto Martinelli down this near side. Calafiori's made the run, a brilliant run. Calafiori, can he get it towards Gyökeres? No, he can't. Cleared by Sporting. It was a brilliant run by the Italian, but he couldn't match it with the pass to Gyökeres inside the penalty area. I think he should have found the Swede, if I'm honest. The run was superb, and he was found beautifully as well by Declan Rice, but it wasn't to be for Arsenal, and Sporting have it over on the far side. Over the halfway line it goes from Gonzalez. So just overrun slightly. No, they still have possession. Clipped out towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Here's Catamo. Catamo inside the penalty area. Oh, and he tries to beat Ray at the near post. Just spotted a gap there at the near post and drills it a couple of yards wide of David Raya's left-hand post and behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Real Madrid are back in it. They've got one back at the Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid 1, Bayern Munich 2, and it's Kylian Mbappe who's got the goal. And, well, it could yet be game on. Here's a change for Sporting Lisbon. And it's 8 and 90, the number, so Rafa Nel is going to get just his fourth cap. And he's going to replace Pedro Gonzalez for the remaining 12 minutes plus stoppage time. Arsenal with possession. So it's a couple of changes now for Rui Borges. And it's Rafa Nel, the 21-year-old, who's come on. Here's Saliba inside the D. Onto Zubamendi. Finds Gabriel towards his left-hand side. Again, doesn't appear to be a great deal of urgency here for Arsenal as far as trying to find this winning goal. I'm sure they'd like the winning goal, but I think more importantly what they want to do is try and keep this clean sheet. Dowman gets his first touch and wins a free kick on the halfway line, the 16-year-old. First moment for him, draws the foul from Max Ario. Quickly taken free kick for Arsenal as they work it from right to left. Eventually finds the feet of Gabriel Martinelli down this near side. Plays it back inside his own half to Gabriel. Square to Saliba. Flows down quickly. Finds Ben White over on the far side. Down the line it goes to Dowman again. And Dowman goes down. Ario with the free kick. How on earth Ario hasn't been booked? I never know. None of his fouls have been that bad. But it's just the number. First of all, it was Madueke. Now he's got Max Dowman to deal with. He's already fouled him twice. He's only been on the field for about 2 minutes. Well, Arsenal take the free kick. Here's Rice inside the centre circle. Saliba on to Zubamendi. And Zubamendi's going to find the aforementioned Max Dowman over the far side. Can the teenager provide a little something? Sneaks one through towards the right side of the penalty. Ben White pokes it out towards that far side again. Here's Kai Havertz. Barely touched the ball since coming on. Back in field to Zubamendi. Zubamendi cuts in field. It's about 45 yards from goal. And eventually it goes back out towards that far side. Ben White. White goes back to Saliba, and Saliba goes all the way back inside the centre circle to Gabriel. We're inside the last 10 minutes now. Still, we are goalless here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. Arsenal did have the ball in the net in the second half, but ruled out for offside in the build-up. Here's Zubamendi. Rice is calling for it. Zubamendi goes on towards Havertz. His first touch is poor, and in the end the defender knocks it back off. It's gone behind, but I think it's gone behind for a goal kick anyway. Last touch has come off for Havertz. The defender just went to clear it. Diamande hit Havertz, and it goes harmlessly wide. It was a nice ball actually towards the German on the edge of the penalty area, but his first touch was very heavy. And that allowed the ball to get away from him. And behind for a goal kick to Sporting Lisbon, who go low out towards the edge of the penalty area. Here is Diamande. Diamande's going to have to clear long, is he here? Plays out from the back. They've got to be careful here, Sporting Lisbon. Again, harem, scare stuff from them as they play out from the back, but Arsenal can't take advantage anyway. Eventually they have won the ball back over on the far side. Dowman battling again with Ario, and actually that one's gone the other way. It looked again as if Ario was holding Max Dowman, but maybe there was a little bit of holding from the teenager as well on the Uruguayan. In fact there was, looking at a replay of it, and the referee's got that one right. Free pick to Sporting Lisbon. Over the halfway line they come down this right-hand side. Have they got anything left in them to find a winner? They have it right-hand side of the penalty area. There's the cross. It's not a bad one. Oh, and the header at the near post is pushed behind by David Raya, and it was Geni Katamo with the header, which was sneaking, I think, just inside the near post. It's well worked down this right-hand side. Cross comes in from Suarez, who turns provider. The header comes in, and I think it might have been sneaking inside the near post. Let's have a look at the replay. It was. I tell you what, it's a good save from David Raya. Gets done well towards this left-hand side. Keeps it at 0-0. Corner to Sporting, the third of the evening from this near side. Left-footed. In it comes, and it's headed clear. I think it was Havertz who got his head on it. The near post it was. It's out for a throw-in. Level at the edge of the penalty area. That is unquestionably the closest Sporting Lisbon have come in this second half. They had that shot in the first half, didn't they, from Ario, which hit the crossbar, but that's the first and only time really they've come close in this second half as they go all the way back towards the halfway line. Diamande just to the right of the centre circle. Goes square to Ignacio. 7 left of the 90. Sporting Lisbon go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Silva. Traps it under his left foot and then drills it out towards this near side. Just about kept in play as well from Katamo. Back comes Ricardo Calafiori, puts the ball out of play, so it's a throw-in for Sporting on the halfway line down there, right-hand side. Here's Katamo again. Infield it goes towards Ganka, and then it's back to Ignacio, left-hand side of the centre circle for Sporting Lisbon. Ario over on the far side. Look like they're going to give this a go, Sporting Lisbon. I think Arsenal look like a team who are quite happy to take the point. I was going to say take the point, take the take the goalless draw back to the Emirates next weekend. Next week, where they'll unquestionably be favourites with the home leg to come. But if Sporting can find a goal, then that could change everything. Sloppy from Ben White over on the far side, but he gets a second opportunity, and then he's managed to find Dowman. Now then, Dowman over the halfway line, twisting, turning. He's so difficult. In the end, they've got to bring him down. He draws the foul. He's got such quick feet, and yes, it's that man Ario again, who still hasn't been booked with his umpteenth foul of the evening. His third on Max Dowman since he came on, and he hasn't been on that long. Here's Rice. Martinelli, edge of the penalty area. Oh, and a good effort, right-footed, curling towards the far post. The keeper didn't just save it; he managed to hold it as well, because there were two Arsenal players coming in for the rebound. Did well there, Silva. It's a save you'd expect him to make. It's a decent effort from Gabriel Martinelli. Just found space in the edge of the penalty area, very similar to how Trossard did actually earlier on in the second half. Trossard just skewed his shot well wide. Here's Rice on the halfway line for Arsenal, onto Havertz. Out to Dowman over on the far side. Ario wins it back. Good play by Ario. Now then, advancing towards the left-hand side, loses possession. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a throw into Arsenal. Midway inside their own half, down their right-hand side. 5 minutes left of the 90. Still Real Madrid 1 by minute 2. Ben White to take this throw in for Arsenal. Goes back to Saliba. Square to Gabriel. Gabriel now has the captain's armband on, following the withdrawal of Martin Odegaard, who was replaced by Kai Havertz about midway through the second half. And again, Arsenal just playing it around the back, not showing a great deal of intent here. Zubamendi picks it up just outside the centre circle. To his right hand side, finds Saliba, brings it over the halfway line. On it goes to Ben White. Ben White on towards Gyökeres, not a particularly good ball, and Sporting can clear it. Over the halfway line it goes. Arsenal could be a little bit stretched here. Over the halfway line comes Catamo, now advancing towards the edge of the penalty area. Still Catamo, ball on his right foot, gets the shot in! Oh, and it almost came back to Suarez, and David Raya smuggled it. He sort of spilt it. The shot initially that was saved by Catamo, he sort of spilt it a little bit, and Suarez was late in there, but he got something on it, David Raya, to get it clear, and it's eventually gone out of play down this near side, and it'll be a Sporting Lisbon throw-in deep inside the Arsenal half. That's a couple of times down this right-hand side. Sporting have put something together, and it's almost come up with the goods for the Portuguese champions. Have they got a goal in them in this last 3 minutes plus stoppage time to take a lead to London? That's a poor ball forward, though, straight through to David Raya. Raya bowls it out to Ben White over on the far side. Now it's Declan Rice. Back to Ben White, and then Saliba, right-hand side of the D. Zubamendi. Into Calafiori, who's popped up in a central position, the Italian. Finds Havertz in a deep position. Havertz plays it back inside his own half to Gabriel. Square to Zubamendi again. Zubamendi advancing towards the halfway line, but again at no great speed for Arsenal. Gabriel to his left, Saliba to his right, still has possession. Goes on to Havertz down the centre in the end, and Havertz gets it out to Max Dowman over on the far side, but the referee's pulled play back here for something. Is that a free kick on Suarez? But it must have been off the ball, because I certainly didn't see anything there. I don't mind seeing that one again. Havertz knocks the ball on. Was it a trailing arm from Kai Havertz? That's all I can think of, because he certainly didn't foul him when he had the ball at his feet. But I may be completely wrong. Either way, the ball was played out towards the far side of Max Dowman, and as soon as it found the feet of the teenager, the referee blew up, and he's given a free kick to Sporting Lisbon. We're in the 89th minute. A Sporting clear from the back. That's going to find Calafiori, though, for Arsenal. On it goes to Rice. Now Martinelli, twisting, turning. Nice play by the Brazilian. Rice is going to loop one out towards the far side. Looking for Dowman. Trapped by Ario. Does well to hold up play. Shows his strength there, the 16-year-old. Does really well, but then Ario comes back at him. And Sporting clear down the line, but straight to Zubamendi. We're inside the 90th minute. A goal now surely wins it in a game as tight as this. Rice, 35 yards from goal. Goes out towards Ben White, and now it's Dowman. And it goes to Saliba. Can he poke it down towards Dowman? Can he get the cross in? No, he can't. Really good defending by Ario, sliding in on the teenager. And he'll clear down the line. Not particularly convincingly, but it's gone out of play. It's hit Ben White, in fact. So it's a throw-in for Sporting Lisbon in their left-back position. As we await the fourth official. They are in stoppage time at the Bernabeu. Still Real Madrid 1, Bayern Munich 2. Looks as if Bayern are going to get a win to make them big favourites for that second leg in Germany in 8 days' time. The German champions against the 15-time European champions who went out, of course, at the quarter-final stage last year. Just the 2 minutes to add on. It's been nice tonight. We didn't have any stoppage time at the end of the first half, and only 2 at the end of the second. We'll take that. Absolutely. So used to those big numbers going up on the boards, aren't we? Here's Martinelli. Martinelli clips one in towards the penalty area. Havertz can win it. Havertz wins it for Arsenal. Brilliant goal from Arsenal. Brilliant work from Martinelli. Clips one into the penalty area. Havertz brings it down beautifully. Slots it beyond the goalkeeper. And in a game as tight as this, it was always going to take some magic. And really it's the magic of the Arsenal substitute, Gabriel Martinelli. That is an absolute peach of an assist. He's clipped it in. Havertz has made the run. I'll tell you what, though, the German brings the ball down beautifully out of the air, slots it beyond Rui Silva, and Arsenal have got the win. And just as Kai Havertz got a priceless equaliser in Germany late on in the first leg in the last round to give Arsenal a draw against Bayer Leverkusen, he's almost certainly given Arsenal the win to take back to London next week. It's very tight for offside. I think he's just on. I think he's just been played on by Diamande. It's very tight. I'm sure that VAR will sort it out, but I think he's just on. Arsenal, of course, have already had one ruled out for a goal from Martin Zubimendi that was offside in the build-up from Victor Gyökeres. But I think that Havertz just timed that to perfection. And his first touch is brilliant. It's looped over the top. He makes the run, he brings it down beautifully, and then from about 10 yards out, slots it beyond the goalkeeper to make it Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 1, and there's barely time to kick off again. We do kick off again. We've practically played the 2 minutes of stoppage time, and Sporting Lisbon's incredible run, well, it's certainly going to come to an end, isn't it? 17 successive wins here at home. And it looked as if it was coming to an end anyway, because Arsenal looked like they were going to get the draw. But now it looks like Arsenal are going to get a priceless win as well, unless Sporting can find something now. We've played the 2 minutes of stoppage time. The ball's got to come into the box. It does. And Raya gets it well clear for Arsenal. I'm not entirely sure why he didn't hold the ball there, David Raya, but still. That's modern goalkeeper's fee. He punched it, to be fair. He got a lot on it, the Spaniard, and it bounced all the way towards the halfway line. Here's Catamo down this near side for Sporting. We've played nearly 3 minutes of stoppage time now, and Sporting coming towards the edge of the penalty. A shot comes in. Oh, it almost fell kindly there inside the penalty area, but Ben White gets it well clear, and it's inside the Sporting Lisbon half. Is there any time for Sporting to come again? There's two Sporting players in an offside position at the moment. They've got to retreat, surely. They're both beyond the last defenders. And if the long ball is played forward, they're just going to be caught offside. Sporting in the end are forced back. Here's Diamande, and he clips it out towards this near side. And it's kept in beautifully, actually, by Catamo. 3 minutes of stoppage time now played in a game that had 2 minutes of stoppage time. I'm not entirely sure where this time is coming from. But the cross comes in, and that's a simple save for David Raya. And I think that will be that. At the Bernabeu, it's finished. Real Madrid 1, Bayern Munich 2. Bayern have got the win, as too have Arsenal. A late goal from Kai Havertz in stoppage time, and they've got a priceless 1-0 lead to take to London next week in the second leg. They will be huge favourites. Kai Havertz with a goal in stoppage time, coming off the bench. A brilliant cameo from Gabriel Martinelli with the assist, and Kai Havertz did the rest. It's finished here at the Estadio Jose Alvalade. Sporting Lisbon 0, Arsenal 1. Thanks very much for listening. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.